Good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Annabelle Tiffin. Our top story: Sir Ed Davey visits Stockport but endures a grilling over his role in the post office scandal. The Liberal Democrat leader was the minister responsible for postal affairs for 2 years. Also tonight, convicted drug dealer Curtis Warren is back in court, but his lawyers try to get his case kicked out. A Lancashire student discovers a giant ring of galaxies which could challenge our understanding of the universe.
And Gladiators ready. I'll be telling you what it's like to be a real-life gladiator.
And another cold and cloudy day for Maxi T, out and about on his walk today. How are we looking into the weekend? Join me at the end of the programme. I'll give you all the details.
Lawyers for the convicted Liverpool drug baron Curtis Warren are applying to have the latest allegations against him thrown out. Mr Warren, who was once featured on the Sunday Times Rich List, appeared in court today accused of breaking the terms of a crime prevention order. It was imposed after his release from prison in 2022. He served 13 years for drug trafficking in Jersey. Andy Gill was at Liverpool Crown Court.
Curtis Warren arrived at court this morning with his face covered. During a brief hearing, he appeared in the glass-wall dock wearing a grey hooded top and spoke only to confirm his name and date of birth. Mr Warren was due to enter pleas to 11 charges that he broke the terms of a serious crime prevention order imposed on him when he was released from jail in November 2022. Under the terms of that order, he's supposed to tell the authorities about changes in his circumstances relating to cash, mobile phones, his passport, cars and any businesses that he might wish to set up. In the event, Mr Warren did not enter any pleas. That's because his legal team intend to apply to have these proceedings stayed, thrown out. There'll be a hearing in June to decide if they will be thrown out or not. If not, there'll be a 2-week trial here in August. Mr Warren left court again with his face covered up. Andy Gill, BBC North West Tonight at Liverpool Crown Court.
2 teenagers have been arrested after crashing an e-bike when police signalled for them to stop. It happened in the Anfield area of Liverpool last night. Neither was wearing a helmet. The police, who've referred themselves to the police watchdog over the incident, says the driver suffered serious but not life-threatening injuries. A former Lancashire police officer who attempted to murder his ex-partner in a jealous rage at a Manchester hotel has been jailed for 16 years. James Riley strangled the woman until she was unconscious. CCTV footage shows the 28-year-old fleeing the scene and trying to escape. The Liverpool-based chair of the British Yemeni Association says airstrikes by the US and UK on Yemen will have a huge impact on civilians. Airstrikes took place overnight against Houthi rebels on the Red Sea. Tahir Qasim says the attacks will make life even harder for Yemenis already struggling after years of conflict there.
It will have a significant impact on the country. I can't really imagine now. I give you an example. That ships go to Hodeidah. First of all, they have to pass by Jeddah to get the clearance from there. And then they go to Djibouti to get the clearance from the UN. And then they move to Hodeidah. And all of this causes delays and cost. And who pays the price? Are the people of Yemen.
Well, it's a scandal that has gripped the country. Hundreds of employees wrongly prosecuted by the Post Office for fraud and false accounting, all because of faulty computer software. Savings, jobs and reputations were lost, even lives. Well, today, the minister responsible for postal affairs for 2 years during the scandal faced questions about his role in events. That man is Sir Ed Davey, now leader of the Liberal Democrats, who was visiting a Stockport school today. Katie Barnfield went to find out what people there have made of the scandal.
On a visit to a Stockport primary school this morning, Sir Ed Davey had his work cut out. The Lib Dem leader has been under fire for his role in the Post Office scandal as the minister in charge during the coalition government from 2010 to 2012.
And my thoughts go out to those people who've been so badly hit by that. And my focus, as I think all our focus should be, is on making sure the sub-postmasters have their convictions overturned where they were actually convicted, have them quashed, and also have the compensation for all the sub-postmasters, including ones who weren't prosecuted.
So what do people in Stockport think of the scandal?
I think it's disgusting what they did. Absolutely disgusting. A lot of people lost their lives through it and their livelihoods, and it's just wrong what they did.
Anybody with any sense should have realised when so many people were getting charged with losing so much money that there was more to it.
Teresa runs the Corner Bar in the Market Hall. She learned about the scandal from the ITV drama series broadcast this month and was shocked by what she heard.
What happened to these people is disgraceful, and then last night the news offering them £75,000. That just adds insult to injury, doesn't it?
Is this an important issue for you as a voter for any new government that might come in this year?
Without a doubt.
During his time as Postal Affairs Minister, Sir Ed Davey initially refused to meet with Alan Bates, the former sub-postmaster who led the campaign to expose the scandal. When asked about it today, the Lib Dem leader said he did put Mr Bates' concerns to the Post Office, but they lied to him.
They all told me the same thing, that the Horizon system was working, that there weren't that many sub-postmasters involved, and it was clearly a conspiracy of lies.
Then he should have done more. I'm not having that.
For Stockport locals Moira and Steve, his explanation doesn't wash.
He obviously didn't ask the right questions.
Listen to the ordinary person, the person it's happening to. Loss of homes, their livelihoods, some committed suicide. It's unbelievable.
Artist Kate O'Brien has followed the scandal closely and thinks the current government should be doing more.
Shameful that it's taken an ITV drama to actually get something decent, well, half decent done about it. I don't think they're doing anywhere near enough from what I've heard. The compensation they're offering is a pittance.
Among the many different voices in this town, it's what everyone seems to be talking about. Katie Barnfield, BBC North West Tonight, Stockport.
Well, Mohammed Rasool was a postmaster in Salford and he was made to wear an electronic tag and had a curfew imposed after being wrongly convicted of false accounting. He was cleared by judges in 2021, but that curfew meant he missed saying goodbye to his dying father. He joins me now. Thank you so much. We've heard so many stories. I know you've been able to tell your story as well over the last week or so. But given everything that's happened, how are you feeling now?
A little bit relieved, still angry because it's still ongoing, but relief that I've been cleared, as have most of my colleagues as well.
But not just cleared by judges. Now, people, the general public are hearing.
That's right. As a result of the drama that was on aired last week, all of my friends and people in the community that I served have gotten to know the true story and have rallied around me, which is very helpful and reassuring.
Yeah, and you heard Sir Ed Davey speaking there. What do you make of what he said?
I think he was being a typical politician. If he was told by the Post Office one thing, I think he should have done a little bit more and asked the sub-postmasters, or at least one of them, to find out what the true story was. He was saying that it was happening only to a couple of them, whereas we were told it was only happening to the person that they were investigating.
There are calls for him to resign. Do you have an opinion on that?
I think that's his own journey. He has to take that journey.
I know also that you came face-to-face with the investigator, didn't you, for the Post Office, Stephen Bradshaw, who gave evidence to the public inquiry yesterday. Before I hear what you think about what he says, let's just hear what he told the public inquiry yesterday.
Each solitary, quite often terrified postmaster sitting across an interview desk from you or one of your team would have been told that they were the only ones with a problem.
I don't know, I've never said that to anybody. I've interviewed that, you're the only one that has this issue. I have never said that.
So you did come face to face with him. What did you make of that evidence?
His answer wasn't completely truth, because I, on a few occasions, said that I thought it was the computer system. And he said, how come it's just you out of 19,000 outlets? You're the only one that's having the problem. And that was said to me by numerous people, including me to Stephen Bradshaw.
He's categorically denied being intimidating and said he did his job thoroughly and properly. How did you find the way he treated you?
I remember one particular occasion when he asked me all the questions, etc., and then came intimidating them close to me, in my face, and said, "What have you done with the money?" Clearly believing that I had taken the money. Which is not true.
No. There's going to be a new law to exonerate all those who were wrongly convicted. Presumably you welcome that wholeheartedly, completely?
Oh, definitely. It's a little bit late, but it's good that it's happening. The only reservations I have is that because people have seen us go through this difficult situation, they may have doubts as to whether it's a knee-jerk reaction from the government or whether it's true justice. We believe it's true justice because we were always said we've been innocent, and that's as much as I can say about it, unfortunately.
Well, Mohammed, we really, really appreciate you coming in, and all the best for the future for you and your family as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, more than 100,000 drivers were fined for poor parking across Liverpool in the last 9 months of 2023, up to 43% year on year. Liverpool Council confirmed 17,000 motorists were sanctioned in the last month alone. More than 4,000 were also caught out by new traffic cameras, which went live in the city centre in November. 1,400 drivers broke the rules in the first 24 hours. 500,000 more people went to see their doctor in November across the region than during the same month before the pandemic. New NHS data, which doesn't include vaccinations, show there were 3.7 million GP appointments, making it the busiest November on record. The number of missed appointments was 209,000, and that was up by 20,000 on November 2019. A rare Manchester United programme for a match that never took place has sold at auction today for nearly £10,000. The game against Wolves at Old Trafford in February 1958 was postponed because it was 2 days after the Munich air disaster. Only a handful of the programmes still exist. Now, Preston is at the centre of the universe after a discovery of astronomical proportions in the city. That's because a PhD student at the University of Central Lancashire has discovered a giant ring-shaped structure which could shape our understanding of the universe. Alexia Lopez is currently presenting her findings in the USA, as Ian Haslam reports.
The universe holds many mysteries, but now a new discovery has challenged scientists' understanding of it. This is an artist's impression of what astronomers are calling the Big Ring, as identified by a UCLan student.
The Big Ring is 1.3 billion light years in diameter, so about 4.1 billion light years in circumference. So if we could see this on the sky, you'd need roughly 15 full moons to cover the full diameter.
The Big Ring isn't Alexia's first big discovery. She also found the giant arc, shown here as red dots, a structure spanning 3.3 billion light years of space.
You've got a ring and you've got an arc underneath this ring. So I do think it's quite interesting that they're similar types of shapes, that one could contain the other. But the fact that they're the same distance, they're at the same position on the sky, I think makes them very linked.
Look at this, I know what you're thinking. Northwesternite using Hollywood technology to make it appear like I'm hanging around in space. But bear with me. Now, this is the view from the Hubble telescope, a tiny patch of sky here, which shows that galaxies are evenly distributed in the universe. And yet this artist's impression of the Big Ring, those blue dots, relatively close to the red dots depicting the giant arc, also discovered by Alexia, contradict the principle that all matter is spread smoothly across the universe. Therefore, scientists say these huge structures challenge previously accepted thinking on how the universe has evolved.
I mean, the key point with doing a PhD is that you're expected to contribute something new to human knowledge. And Alexia has definitely done that. So we don't expect to see enormous, great big structures of this size and shape. So the fact that she's found not just one of these, but 2 of them, and we've found others before. So now we have 7 of these enormous, great big structures that are not really explainable with current cosmological models. Is when science gets really interesting, when you find these things that you actually can't explain with your current theories. That means you have to go back and revisit your theories.
I think it's exciting to think about, the biggest questions of how are we in this universe? How did we get here?
Alexia is now presenting her work at the American Astronomical Society in New Orleans. She'll submit her paper to the Science Journal when she returns home. Ian Haslam, BBC North West Tonight.
Fascinating, isn't it? And well done to Alexia, and brought beautifully to life by Ian Haslam there. We're going to move on to sport now. Poor old Richard, we've sent him out into the cold ahead of a match which is absolutely huge for Premier League strugglers Burnley. I know, aren't we absolutely mean? But, this definitely qualifies Richard as one of those relegation 6-pointers, doesn't it? So it's worthwhile us chucking you out there.
Yeah, you're right, Annabelle. I was going to use that phrase myself. It really is against Luton Town. Luton are 4 points above the Clarets, also battling relegation. Burnley 5 points from safety. You know what, talking to fans as well, you really can feel the tension. You'll hear from some shortly. But on the pressure that the players are going to feel inside Turf Moor, the manager, Vincent Kompany, says he doesn't want them to fear it. He wants them to embrace that pressure.
What type of career is it? What type of club are you if you don't play with pressure? Last year we played for promotion against each other. There was pressure there. And this year is the same type of pressure. It's being able to stay in this league.
Well, that's what the fans will be hoping for. But as I mentioned, it is a huge game, this, for Burnley tonight. Here's what some of them had to say to me a short time ago.
A little bit nervous. You want them to do well, don't you? So, Burnley fans, so we want them to do really well, but you just never know, do you?
Do you think they'll do it tonight?
I think so.
Cautiously optimistic, I'd say. It could go either way, really close, but it's a big game, so we've really got to pull out the bag.
Keep the faith, as they say, and see how we go. It's a crunch match tonight, isn't it? So if we don't win tonight, I think we can say goodbye to the Premier League.
Right, let's have a look in a bit more detail as to how Burnley fans are feeling. Let's joined by Rich Steele from the No Nay Never podcast. Great to see you, Rich.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, some of those fans are nervous, understandably. Just put into context for us how big a game this is tonight.
Yeah, it's an absolutely huge game tonight. Obviously Luton are the team nearest to us in the table. If we lose tonight, we're at risk of getting really cut adrift from the rest of the league, but if we win, it puts us right back into the hunt. And yeah, it's just a huge game that we've got ahead of us.
Do you fear that if Burnley lose tonight, that could be it? It could be too difficult to stay up?
You can never say that, because in football's a funny game. You can go on a run and get a few wins together, but with our form this season, that does look unlikely. So I think if we do lose tonight, it's going to make it very difficult.
Come on, Burnley! They believe.
Yeah, but I do think if we get the win, it gets our confidence up. Performances in the last few games have been a lot better. We've not quite got the points that we've deserved from those performances. So hopefully, great atmosphere tonight at the Turf. It's always special playing under the lights here. So hopefully the fans can get behind the lads and the lads can put on a performance for us.
Yeah, home form is a bit perplexing. We're going to see a goal now from Wilson Odobert. That was away though against Fulham. Yeah. Great performance that. Why do you think it is? I mean, the home fans always get behind the team. The backing is always superb. Why is it that the home form hasn't been as you would have expected?
I think obviously with Vincent Kompany and the way he wants to play expansive football. He wants us to take the game on, really take the game to other teams. But I think at times we've been very naive at home. We've been caught out playing out from the back a few occasions. I think there's times when we've been pressing too high up the pitch and leaving ourselves exposed. But I think our away record's been a little bit better because we've been willing to be a little bit more pragmatic, not take as many risks. And I think that's been a key factor to why we have struggled this season. Like the home game against Everton, we just was a bit naive at times. Let Everton press us. And if we do that today against a really aggressive Luton side, it could be our undoing. But fingers crossed we're able to implement our own style, get the ball down. You mentioned Odobert before. for, who's been a real revelation to us since Koleosho got injured. Get the ball out to him, get him running at players, and it's a massive, massive boost having Foster fit tonight.
Yeah.
Our defence is looking a little bit shaky. We've got Bayer out injured, Taylor out injured, so we're lacking a little bit of experience there. But Ekdal's in, which is a surprise, which is good to have him back fit.
Yeah, and plenty of firepower. You've got it all sus, you've got the tactics sus. Thanks very much indeed,
Cheers,
Rich.
Rich.
Really appreciate your time.
Yeah,
best of luck.
much.
Thank you very much indeed. Because of the split winter break for Premier League clubs, we don't have any 3 o'clock kickoffs in the top flight this weekend. We've got Manchester City at Newcastle tomorrow at 5:30, Everton Villa on Sunday at 2, and then Manchester United Spurs at Old Trafford at 4:30. One man who certainly won't feature for United is £73 million winger Jadon Sancho. He's gone back to his former club Borussia Dortmund on loan until the end of the season. Now, manager Erik ten Hag, United's manager, wouldn't be drawn on that, but he did talk about the pressure, the overall pressure of wearing the United shirt.
It's so much more difficult to play for Man United and to perform for Man United as you can do for another club. So you need very strong character to perform. But this is the best club you want to play for. This is the best challenge.
It's a big weekend in boxing for Liverpool's Callum Smith. He's aiming to become a 2-weight world champion in Quebec City in Canada tomorrow night. Callum takes on the unified undefeated light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev. Callum won a world title at super middleweight, you may well know. He only has 1 defeat in his career. Best of luck to Callum and to Sale Sharks against the Stormers in the Champions Cup. Coverage of this game, all the best coverage on BBC Radio Lancashire, of course. From Turfmoor, Annabelle, back to you.
Richard, thank you very much indeed. Now, yes, that's exactly the right screen that we want to see now. The hit 90s TV show Gladiators returns to BBC tomorrow. Well, it's coming to BBC for the first time tomorrow, when a brave set of contenders take on the ultimate test of speed and strength. The series features a whole new cast of gladiators, but the lycra suits, original theme tune and classic challenges, including the Eliminator, remain. Anna Jameson spoke to former rugby and NFL player Apollo and Dynamite, who is this year's youngest gladiator from Altrincham.
Now, you would have been too young to remember Gladiators. When did you realise that this was a mega TV show, like peak viewing in the 90s?
It's so surreal. At first I thought surely it can't be that big, but over the past few weeks it's kind of actually clicked. I just want to show people that they can be confident, the best version of themselves, no matter how old you are or what experience you have. Like, the Gladiators, there's such a variety of background between them. Like, you've got some that have gone to the Olympics, you've been to America and played rugby like professionally. Like, it's such a variety and range.
Well, you're from Altrincham in Greater Manchester. How big of an influence has that been with you getting into sport?
It's cool. Like, I grew up here, I went to school here, my sporting career started here. The community, the people have all supported me in some way, and here we are today, so I'm glad I'm able to represent Manchester.
You used to train at Stockport Metro swimming baths, and you used to wake your parents up at 4 o'clock in the morning, knocking on the bedroom door saying, come on, it's time for training.
Yeah. I was a swimmer from age 7 till about 15. 4 a.m. wake-ups twice a day. It was intense, and then moved over to CrossFit, and I've been competing in that ever since, really.
Right now, it feels like female fitness is in. Women want to be athletic. They no longer want to be skinny. It must be so empowering for you to be able to do that and be an athlete and be really a role model for young girls.
That's what people want. They want to be the best version of themselves. They want to be strong, they want to be fit, healthy, and I'm starting to come to terms with that. For everyone looks different. So that's kind of the message we want to bring, as like from us female gladiators and the men as well.
All across the gladiator lineup, there's fantastic examples of that. Strong women, strong men, honourable people. It's amazing. It's an amazing group to be a part of.
Let's talk about the challenges. There's some new ones, there's some old ones that people will be familiar with, including the Travelator at the end.
It's like a big adult playground, wasn't it? Yeah, it was amazing. I guess those nostalgic games that you all remember, like Jewel, which you feature very, very heavily in.
That was my favourite.
There's Jewel, there's Powerball, there's Swinging on the Rings, right? But then there's some new additions that I think people are really going to like as well.
Talk through your costumes, please. They're pretty astounding. Beautiful, glorious.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is happy, right? I think.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted the iconic male singlet. I was like, I'm not a gladiator unless I have the onesie, right? So I wanted that. You know, I didn't want no crop top. I wanted the full thing. But I think that the girls have got quite a big range of different stuff, haven't they?
Yeah, I think we all just wanted things that we were comfortable working out in. And in training, I'd normally just wear a sports bra and shorts anyway. So this kind of transfers quite well, just with a bit extra bling.
I think for all of us, it was that kind of pinch me moment, seeing the costume and then putting it on and seeing yourself in it.
Yeah.
You don't get it anywhere else, right? Like where else can you don an outfit like this, unless you're in the Avengers or something? But we're the next thing, right? So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wow, can't believe it's coming back. It starts tomorrow evening at 5:50 on BBC One. Right, let's get a look at the weather. Here's Kay.
Hello there, good evening. Well, it's been a Groundhog Day in terms of the weather, an awful lot of cloud. It's felt quite chilly as well. This is how it looked on the canal. Thanks to Matt for sending that picture in, a lot of grey skies. And it stays that way, certainly for a time through tomorrow, with a little bit of rain. But we should then see it brightening with sunny spells and some lovely spells of sunshine on Sunday, but it will turn a lot colder. More on that in a minute. As we head to overnight tonight, we've still got a lot of cloud out and about. Now, overnight, we will see that cloud starting to break, so some clear spells. Temperatures here will drop down to freezing, so a touch of frost is likely for some tomorrow morning. Again, chasing cloud amounts through tomorrow morning, a lot of cloud. The front will come through. That cold front is going to choose a little bit of light rain, but for many of us, it will stay dry. Clearing skies from the north, so sunshine on offer into the afternoon, especially for Cumbria and Lancashire, 7 to 9 degrees. But as we go through Sunday, things are going to get a lot colder. Overnight into Monday, we're talking about down to -3 or -4, and that cold air stays with us as we go through next week. Now, we start off Sunday morning with some showers out and about, but those will clear through quite quickly. And then for Sunday itself, lovely spells of sunshine. It just will start to be feeling a little bit cooler. Temperatures about 6 or 7 degrees. They'll drop off quite quickly through Sunday evening, down to -4 overnight into Monday. Monday itself, beautiful. A lovely sunny day, but feeling really cold. And those temperatures then hover around 3 or 4 degrees. The risk of wintry showers at times. That's it from me. Take care.
Yeah, very, very cold. So if you don't want to go outside to watch that Burnley game, there is live commentary on BBC Radio Lancashire. And something else to look forward to, Politics Northwest is back on Sunday at 10 a.m. with me. So please join me then. In the meantime, have a lovely weekend. We're back at 10:30. Bye-bye.